What's going on, everybody? It's a special Wednesday show of TransWorld Live, and we're sorry for being a couple minutes late here. The best part that Robert and I just found was that we could read all of your comments while we're waiting for the show to go live. So yes, Nadine and Sean, we love you guys. Thank you so much for the fun. Yes, Nadine, 100%. Well, we're waiting. Caddyshack, one of the classics here. Guys, what's going on? Rob, it's TransWorld Wednesday. That's right. TransWorld every night of the week, and we can't do it without you guys. Sammy Taylor, we're going to see you, all of you guys, in just a few days. That's right. 48 hours, if you can believe it, to MHC, Midwest Haunters Convention. So as everybody's coming on in, we appreciate you being here with us as our last show before the big dance. Please let us know. We love when you're watching, but we love you even more when you let us know you're in the chat. So say hi, say what's up, say what you're looking forward to. I've got a discussion point for those outside of the haunt world. Tonight is Stanley Cup Finals. Game number 1, Edmonton versus Florida. Who's going to win it all? You got a favorite? Let's pick it now. We do have some birthdays to celebrate today. Katana Phillips, happy birthday to her. Tomorrow, actually not tomorrow, Friday, day 1 of MHC. We've got Dean Morrison, Jason Vittoriti, and Robert Unglin. Maybe we'll see Freddie himself. Who knows? On the 7th, that's Saturday of MHC, we have Jennifer Menchaca and Hunter Cardwell. Happy birthday to both of them. On Sunday, Devin Ray and Andrew Santiago. And then wrapping us up on Monday there, we've got Jared Bilsack, Cassandra Martinez, Angie Olson, and Steve Verdino. Happy birthday to all of them. Of course, big love and a heart to one of our team that's going to be missing from the action this weekend, our beloved Becca. We love her. We're going to miss her. It's not going to be the same without her. And for those that aren't aware, and hopefully you are, check out those old shows, and we've got some important announcements from there. But Becca had a horrible accident with a dog attack, and she's recovering right now. So we have a GoFundMe that all of us are supporting on behalf of the entire TransWorld team. And it's spearheaded by Anne-Marie Gavinsky. So we want to thank her for all her efforts, and thank you for any contribution that you can help to support Becca. We love her, and we can't wait to see her on the floor again with us very soon. Well, like we talked about, guys, it's 24 hours. No, it's not. It's 48 hours. I feel like it's tomorrow. Many of us are coming into the show floor tomorrow, Thursday, to start setting up for the big dance on Friday here. But everything is wide open. So if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, now is the time. Make sure you don't get shut out. Of course, everything kicks off on Friday, June 6th, with the screening, the exclusive MHC screening of Haunt Season. That's right. The movie that we had on everybody last week. Those guys are going to be doing a great job of bringing the cast and crew hanging out, and you get to see a free movie all for being a part here. So check that out. Then we're going to end up the main event on Friday here, going to see Abandoned Haunted House. Now, of course, we're going to get some food along the way at the Brat Stop, but this is a mega tour. 3 huge, full-scale, detailed haunted houses in a midway that's going to blow your socks off. All the tubular meat that you can get from the Brat House, and then there's cheese, and there's wonderful beer as we are north of the Cheddar Curtain, and very excited to celebrate there as part of our history. On Saturday, of course, we have the show floor, we have the seminars, we have the stage, we have the pit, we have the Olympics, the zombie walk, Bloody Mary makeup wars, and of course, the MHC costume party. So excited. That'll be Saturday night. Get your tickets now. We do have some breaking news from Jim Slanker, actually. He just told us that for the Bloody Mary makeup wars, we're officially on a waiting list. So if your team hasn't registered yet, make sure you get in there, because sometimes we do have teams that have to drop out and you can claim your spot. So we appreciate you being there. Of course, all of those fun stuff's going to happen again on Sunday. We've got the Learning Lounge for anybody that's wearing a costume and you need some safe place to change. As Robert's putting on the screen right now, we are going to have changing rooms free of charge. We want to make sure that you have every opportunity to express and have so much fun at MHC this year. Of course, it's this weekend, June 6th to the 8th at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, Illinois. The page that Robert's showing, MidwestHuntersCon.com, and he's looking at the daily events. You're going to want to bookmark that as we get through the entire weekend so you know what's happening, where to go for all the fun, and where you can go to find all of your friends. Yes, we've got some outside stuff. Yes, we've got some inside stuff. So let's talk weather. It's our official weather report. As you know that we're far out here. Friday, we're looking at a high of 76 with a low of 56, 40% chance of rain. Saturday, 71 with a low of 58 and only a 25% chance of rain. And then Sunday, we're looking at 79 and 60 on the back end with a 55% chance of rain. I feel like we need a map here, like showing all the fun stuff there. So definitely there'll be no snow, which is always wonderful. And you're going to have a great time here in Chicago. We cannot wait to see you. Now, also mark your calendars. We know that we've had a little bit of a erratic schedule, and we want you to make sure that you're with us. So our show, our Aftermath show, that legendary show where we talk about all the infamous things that happen, that's going to be next week, Thursday, June 12th. So make sure that you mark that down on your calendar so that we can hang out. Well, thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Again, working on that green screen. Maybe it'll be in the budget for next season, and we can do some movements on that. So we appreciate that. It is going to be gorgeous. So, Danny, it's good to see you here. Katie, Robert, Christopher, sorry, we're catching up on everybody. Carolyn, what's going on? How are you? Why are there no cash prizes for the Sunday costume contest? So we do have one. It's on the show floor. We're actually going to talk about that, Carolyn. That's a great question. And we're going to talk about that in just a beat here. So save that question here for a moment here. All right, guys, we're 48 hours out. We know that you're packing your bags, and we want to wish you a safe travel. So we're super excited to have our first guest with us tonight. You know him, you love him. He is beloved. Their company is beloved by every home haunter, do-it-yourselfer, and haunter throughout the country, and they arguably would have the most revered and respected catalog with the highest distribution. TransWorld Live. We're so excited to save him for our last show before MHC. You're going to see him in 48 hours. Help me in welcoming Mr. Scott Bibus from FrightProps.
What up? Hey, Chris. How are you? Thank you. What an intro. Wow. We got a lot to live up to.
You know what? This is that last show, so we have to set the bar high.
Yeah.
We're so excited. You are killer. Obviously, your catalog is legendary. So the biggest question that comes out of everybody's mind is, are you going to be bringing catalogs to MHC?
Of course, we will have catalogs there. Yeah, that's, I love hearing that because that's my labor of love. I've been with FrightProps now for 20 years. This is actually, I think this month is like 20 years on the dot. And that was one of my first things I really started doing when I got more, when I realized that this could be a company I could stay with for a long time. I was like getting involved in making that catalog and trying to make it something really special. So that it warms my heart to hear that. I love when people are excited about that.
Just because we haven't gotten a chance to talk, though, it's wild to see people not only at TransWorld, but at East Coast Haunters, and we're going to assume this is going to happen at Midwest, but they'll be sitting in the audience of the stage area, like waiting for an event, and they're thumbing through your catalog, and somebody will come over and go, "Where did you get that catalog?" And be like, "Oh, the FrightProps booth. Oh, I'm running over there right now."
Love it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was kind of the idea with it, was it just, especially for the shows. It's so nice when you go to these shows to get those catalogs. And then when you are done walking the show floor, you're done partying at night, or even while you're partying, you can bring it out, you can page through it, you can circle things that you want, bring it to the booth, if you're doing orders like at TransWorld, and just have that as a resource. And then we also tried to make it also like a resource as well. We try to put some diagrams in there, helpful stuff so it actually serves a little bit of a purpose when it's hanging around the shop too.
It's not just a flyer that gets ends up getting discarded. It's a resource manual. It's a tool.
We try to make it, have a couple of uses. So entertainment, of course, sales, so people know it's available. And then also, some tech tips and diagrams and stuff that you might be able to reference if you need it quick.
I don't want to date us, but it seems like this is that equivalent for many people at least that I've heard, like J.C. Penney's Christmas catalog or the Sears Wish book, you know, type of thing where you got that as a kid. You're like, yes, 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 yes. I
Shit,
see the same. Yeah.
yeah, that's hard for me to accept as well, because you get people coming up to you now that are young, real young, and they're
Yes,
like, "Oh,
yes.
I've had this when I was a kid," and well, you're still a kid, dude. Like, it's crazy. So as we get older, it's a little bit trippy.
Oh, it's wild too, because what you guys do helps us stay young. I mean, you see people of all ages that are so excited to put animation or to make some animatronics just for their house, just for their yard display. You guys give them the tools, the ability, and the know-how to be able to do that.
That's what I love so much. I mean, as I've been with this company so long, and my background is really in sculpting and mold making. I didn't know a lot about animatronics or controllers or anything, and so I kind of learned that as I went. And one of the things I love the most about these shows and other places where I get to talk to people is actually being able to share some of that. And then when they come back to me and say, "Look what I made," that, and I've been trying to make a concerted effort of getting out there more to people on social and being like, "Share that with us so I can share it." Because it's so inspiring. It's like, I can't believe the creativity that's out there. These people come up with
Yes.
such cool ideas, and they create these amazing things out of just pieces and parts that were nothing before.
It's the artistry, and that you guys give them those tools. Has there ever been something that you've seen? I mean, I have to assume, like, when you see all of these haunters do things, or they come up to you at the booth and they're like, "Look, I did this." Like,
Yeah.
you can see your work, but then are you ever like shocked? Like, wait, I didn't even think it could be used for that
Yeah.
application.
Oh, every single day. Like, that's one of the benefits of the job that I have, is that, like, I'm constantly getting either questions and email, like, I never even thought of that, even if it's something not haunt related. It's like, I got a question the other day. The guy has a loom for weaving, like weaving cloth.
Yes.
He's like, "I want to get a cylinder to move this thing across the weaver." I'm like, okay, that's something I've never thought about in my life. But even, a couple weeks back, we shared this guy who made a 12-foot tall skeleton with like a figure
Yeah.
on the top of a big pitchfork. It's just like crazy stuff. He had cylinders in the legs animating it. So that's just stuff. It makes me so happy, like, just to see what actually happens with these parts and pieces, and then hopefully some of the knowledge that we can try to impart as well gets actually applied, and people are making cool stuff. That's what it's all about.
And I have to assume there's kind of a bi-directional communication too. Like, people are coming back and saying, "Hey, I love this product. Could you do this? Because I'm thinking about doing this."
Right. Yeah,
Right.
that's I think a lot of companies in this industry, we depend on that. Like,
Yeah.
and one person can only have so many ideas. So at some point, you're going to have hopefully a customer, if you're lucky enough, a customer come to you and say, "Hey, can I do this?" Or, "Could you guys do this for me?" And of course, we just love that. We like to be collaborative with people and share those ideas. And then if it becomes a product, even better. But even if it's just like something we could share as a tutorial for other users, that's something I've
Yeah.
been focusing a lot on lately.
It's awesome to see, and you guys are so genuine too, of just about helping everybody. It's funny because Gretchen in the comments put, "I think I have a catalog in every room of my house," and
Love it.
and folks like, and I want to give a shout out to the Chicago Haunt Builders and Jim Slanker,
Yeah.
because that's a huge, like, it was wild. I didn't understand until I finally went to one of their gatherings. And these people not only are so passionate, but they eat up your catalogs like they've never seen, like they had just won the lottery, and they shared them like little kids. Like, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this." It's just, you guys not only do that know-how, have the products, but you also create a lot of inspiration and help people dream. And that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love that. That's what really is the heart of what we do as a business. It's like getting to share that passion for creating things, especially for Halloween. I mean, that's what we love so much. But even outside that realm, and of course, Jim is, such a great guy. And we were so cool to see the pictures from the make and take recently. We were able to provide some motors for him so that he could get more people to come. And so that looked like such a cool event. So yeah, those are awesome. We love to see that stuff.
I love that. Okay, all right. So we want some behind the scenes of it. When does your 26 catalog? When do you guys start working on that? Does that happen like right now? What does that look like behind the scenes?
Sure. Yeah, I usually will wait and try to start like after Halloween. So basically, like a lot of people, Halloween comes, then it's like November 1st. I'm starting, and if there is stuff I can prep earlier, even better. Like,
Sure.
as much time as I can give myself is always good. But yeah, usually I start November. I really have to get like the templates loaded from last year, start changing stuff out, editing things, moving products in and out, and doing any other new design that we want to do for it. And but the cover is a big deal because I'm always thinking about like what's the cover going to be.
Yes.
Like that's the big decision because my friend Tim's the artist that does them all.
Yeah.
Tim Sievert, and I'm always trying to think like, all right, what am I going to give to Tim? And that can sometimes be the longest part and the most intensively creative because it's like, what is it? What people kind of want to see that, so it's always a big part of my year thinking about what can we do that's kind of new and exciting on the cover.
I can imagine too. It's again labor of love, but you guys are very passionate about it, and so are your readers. So it's wonderful that it's shared on both sides. And I think Sean just asked the question in the chat. We're going to rip the Band-Aid off. They want to know what you're bringing to MHC. Any new products? Yeah. What are you bringing?
Yeah, so MHC, it's a little bit later in the year, and now is the time where you should be building. So we're going to be bringing a lot of stuff that you can actually pick up at the show, bring home, and start making props. So we're going to have all those essentials. That's really the main thing we're looking at MHC. It's going to be controllers, of course. We got motors. We got Sprite video players. We're going to have a couple props here and there, like some of the mechs and some of the little air blasters and stuff like that. But it's going to be a lot of stuff that you can just pick up, buy at the show, bring home, and start making props. So that's kind of usually our focus for MHC. One thing we're going to have that will be pretty exciting is actually, we also have poison props we own and operate as well. And so we have a lot of masks that we end up not using. So we're going to have a huge box of overstock masks. So just awesome latex masks that are going to be budget priced, ready to go. So that's going to be for a lot of people, I think some of you want to go right away and start digging through there because there are going to be a lot of really cool masks that are going to be at a super good price.
That's a fantastic breaking news. Holy cow, because I'm assuming first come, first serve.
That's right. Yeah, we just are bringing what we have. It's just stuff that we've accumulated and we don't use it on props anymore. But they're great masks, brand new. So they're going to be really nicely priced. So I would head right there. As a person who loves to collect masks and also lots of other stuff, I would be right on that.
Okay, this is good tips. Thank you. Seriously, and the people in the chat are eating that up as well.
Love it.
Holy cow, that's great. Awesome. Okay. I know you guys are literally right when you walk in. You guys obviously you guys are a huge, huge part of everything that we do. So on behalf of all of us at TransWorld, we want to thank you for all of your partnership for over these years.
Oh yeah,
of course. But your knowledge is also something we want to celebrate because you're bringing a lot of catalogs and you're bringing a lot of cool stuff that you can cash and carry and make really cool stuff, but you really know what you're talking about. And you get to celebrate a little bit of that with us by teaching at MHC, a class called Mastering the Art of the Scare, Programming and Using Prop Controllers, which can be a little daunting to some people that don't know that world.
Yeah. And that's where I really like what I do so much. Cause like I said, it was not my thing before I got into this. I was like an artist. That was kind of my background. Was like, I could sculpt and mold and stuff like that a little bit. But then I started to realize as I worked for the company more like, hey, what we're really selling the most of is this tech stuff. And so over the years, like I said, 20 years, I've just sort of learned as I went. And so I have that perspective of a person who doesn't know anything about it. And they come in and they're just like, what is this even? So I hope that I can kind of portray to people the kind of baby steps of like, here's what it is at its basic, fundamentals. And then we can build from there. But I'm super excited. The seminar is going to be a blast. I have actually, this is also kind of a small breaking news for you, Chris. We have from our shows, all TransWorld for years, we brought this character named FrightBot. He sits on our controller. He's a little guy with a skull. He looks kind of like a bird. So we have now built FrightBot 2.0. So this is a brand new version of FrightBot, and he'll be at my seminar, and I'm going to use him to demonstrate how to program as we kind of build up from the very simple controllers to the more complex. I'm going to show how that all comes together in a character with multiple movements and even some DMX control and all sorts of exciting stuff. So he'll be there at the show. Probably won't be moving because we don't have air at the show.
Sure.
In my seminar, he will be because I have a little canister that I'm bringing. So FrightBot 2.0 is going to make his first appearance at MHC. Okay,
that's really breaking news. Thank you for saving that for us.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. Can we talk about that seminar again? Because again, everything that you touched on, it's an amazing price point and you have a ton of knowledge. I'm sure it's going to be overfilling from the hour that you're there because people do want to learn about this stuff. Now, a big question that we just got in the chat, it's not just for newbies, like it's also for those that are intermediate and want to learn more as well, right?
Exactly. Yep. So I'm going to start. I have a kind of a slide presentation that starts the whole thing off. Kind of go, and I'm thinking about the first half hour will be sort of starting at the basics, working up through the complexities, but covering a lot of that just general questions. And then we're going to get into like, okay, we're going to go through programming. It'll be a lot of our kind of stuff. So it'll be like the flex controllers. It'll have director in there. I'll be doing some DMX programming. So this is the kind of stuff where if you've used a couple key banger controllers or a peekaboo or something like that, and you're thinking what's next, you are going to see that as well. So if you're in that level of intermediacy and you're thinking about maybe kicking it up to the next notch of like, what about a flex? What about something that requires director programming? I'm going to be showing that as well.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll have it'll be useful, for everybody. Anybody who's just getting started to they'll learn, and then they'll see some aspirational stuff. And then, people who maybe have been playing with controls, but they'll get reinforced on some of that basic knowledge. And then also they'll maybe hopefully learn a few more tricks too.
And and you correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not only good for those that are working in professional haunted houses, but anyone that's interested in making stuff move, making your show better, home haunters, do-it-yourselfers, anybody that wants to decorate for Halloween, regardless of where it's at.
100%. Yeah. And I like, at FrightProps, we have a lot of haunted house clients, but I think the bulk of our business comes from those home haunters, those people who are tinkering in their garage and they have an idea. And, especially if maybe they don't quite know how to get there. And that's where we come in. So the seminar for sure will be a great place to start. And then, of course, you can break the ice with me and you'll get all our contact info. And I'm going to have printouts as well of all the slides. So that'll have some great, diagrams and information. So, yeah, definitely for people who are home haunters and thinking about maybe building their first prop ever. And that controller part of it is the part that's really hanging them up. This would be great for them.
I wish I could attend. Literally, if we weren't doing other stuff, like I want to learn how to do all that cool stuff. So I'm jealous that you get to hang out with all these cool people and teach them a really cool skill that helps entertain all of our patrons, no matter where our shows are.
Yeah, well, it's an honor to do it. I love to do it. Like I said, it's a pleasure of mine because I really like to share that. I just remember how daunting it was coming from a person who had no perspective on this stuff. And so, and my dad was a teacher, so it's somewhere in the blood. I just love to be able to, anytime I learn something new, and sometimes too quickly, I'll try to share it with somebody. It's like, I might not even know fully what I'm talking about, but I want to teach somebody else right away. So luckily this stuff I've got a pretty good grasp on.
I love it, dude. I love it. I love it. You can register right now. It's not too late. Of course, you can do it when you walk in, but it's a lot easier if you do it ahead of time and make sure that your spot is reserved. MidwestHauntersCon.com, and just go to the seminars. We'll get you hooked up and hanging out with Scott. But there's more. You guys are sponsoring for our brand new section of the floor called the Halloween Learning Lounge. Number one, thank you for taking this adventure with us. But this is everything that you guys are about, is helping to inform, to educate. And the best part for all of those on the floor, there's going to be presenters, but it's all free with admission.
I saw that. It's super exciting. It's something I think is such a great idea, because what's the best part of these shows? So much of it, there's the show floor, but it's a lot of it's the after the show when you're just hanging out and all of a sudden you run into somebody and you're talking about these subjects. Or maybe it's a vendor that's not on the show floor. So this is it's happening during the show, which is so cool. So if you just can't get enough, you're like, I want to learn more. You know exactly where to go, and you'll meet like-minded people. You can toss ideas around. I mean, I think that's just awesome.
It is. It's cool to collaborate with other people, and you may find somebody who's just starting a brand new yard display, or somebody that's been doing it for 30 years, or somebody that's working at a haunt. It's great to have that kind of mix and mingle.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's how we all learned in the first place. Nobody got here by themselves. So I learned, of course, from the founder of our company, Doug, our president, and then other people along the way. As we just kept going along, it's like you have to have a teacher to learn pretty much anything. So getting that contact from somebody who's done it and knows, it's so helpful. I mean, it just leaps and bounds. That's how I learn best, is just meeting other people and having them kind of distill their information to me.
The networking part of it. Everybody talks about, those after hour events and those offsite events. This is another opportunity here to meet and greet with people and, kind of share and say, hey, listen, I didn't know you did this. Can you help me do this? Et cetera.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's, again, like so important for every part of it. If you're going as a business, if you're going as a home haunter, like you never know who you might meet that will enhance your life in so many cool ways. It's just a great opportunity.
Love it, love it. The people in the chat are loving it. Sean, great question. Can we get a haunt learning lounge for TransWorld and East Coast? Uh, we're gonna let everybody know about it, about how exciting people are about this, and there's a good chance that maybe we can. So I know that MidwestHauntersCon.com, you can go through a rundown of all of the classes that were going there. Just click on the Halloween Learning Lounge. And just a quick little mention here. I mean, these are not, these are very, very big names in the industry that are going to be there hanging out, talking about certain topics for free, including Ross Arroyo from Illumibot, Tyler Firmenich from Nightmare Forge, Brian Hunter from Pumpkin Riot, Jesse McCabe and Vicky Hayes from Chicago Haunt Builders, Alan Hops from Stilt Beast, of course, Michael Peters, and even our own Rob Bloom from the chat right now and from Chicago Haunt Builders. We're so excited to have this collective of knowledge, and we couldn't do it without FrightProps. So thank you so much for allowing that to happen and that knowledge to take place.
Oh, we appreciate it. I think that is one thing that we really prioritize as an entity is sharing knowledge. Like, the whole FrightProps was born of that. When Doug started going to his first shows, he brought finished product and everybody just wanted to know how he made it. So his idea was, I'll tell you, and then maybe you can buy the products from me, if you think you see something that you like. So that was kind of our whole ethos is like, we're not going to hide how we do things. Like, we're going to try to share that knowledge. And then, part of our business is hopefully you might buy some of the parts from us that you get inspired when you want to make your thing. But we don't like gatekeeping knowledge. We like to share it because it just kind of lifts all boats. Like, everybody makes cooler stuff. People learn more. And then that can come back around. Like you were saying, like maybe somebody makes something that's like this amazing idea. And then, that jumps us off in a new direction that we can make a new product that is really exciting. So it really helps everybody all around.
I couldn't agree more. This is exciting. Everybody uses MHC for a different purpose. They come with a different mindset. And so why does FrightProps, why does Scott get excited about Midwest Haunters Convention? What are you excited for this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, this weekend's a little bit different for me. So I'm coming down to do the seminar, and then we're actually taking a family trip. So my son Oliver is 7. And so he's coming, and he's going to, hopefully, we'll see if he can walk the show floor. He still gets scared by Halloween, which is kind of ironic, but I'm hoping he'll walk around. He's actually a big Brick Thunder fan.
Okay.
So I'm hoping I can convince him to go say hi. So for me, it's kind of a family thing this year, and our owner Jill and her son Joe will be working the booth. And so for me, Midwest is just like always just such a great opportunity to see those people and just really kind of share where we're at. We're in the heat now. I feel like it's really, MHC is the like, the goalpost of saying like, you are now in Halloween time. Yes. Like, you need to be building your stuff. You need to be, your haunt should basically be done, which it never is. But so I always kind of celebrate it as that sort of like, this is a great show to go to get those like last minute additions, to get those parts, those pieces, those things, that's why we do a lot of grab and go stuff at this show. It's like, you don't want to be waiting too much longer for stuff. So get the stuff, to fill those gaps, find those, vendors that can get you product quick or something to make something yourself, if that's kind of where you're at. And it's just, love that feeling at MHC of like, it is now on, we're just a couple months away from the big box stores having Halloween stuff, or weeks, so we're really getting into the season now that we all just live for. So it really gets me excited.
Oh, dude, I can't say it any better. I'm so excited. You guys are booth 2917, and I think it will be nearly impossible to miss you. But obviously, you could start your window shopping now and make your Christmas list, of course, that you can exercise this weekend. Go to FrightProps.com. Scott, on behalf of all of us at TransWorld, thanks you, to Doug, to the entire team. Anything else you want to say before we see you literally in like 24 hours?
Exactly. No, I mean, we're just super excited. And of course, thanks back to you guys all at TransWorld. The only shows we do are TransWorld shows. And that's because of the team that you guys have built and the connections that we have with you for over, however many years now. I've been to 20, so I know it's a few more than that. But, just love what you guys do. And the shows are always a blast and super successful. So we're looking forward to another one.
Oh, we can't wait. And again, thank you for everything and safe travels. And we're definitely going to get Brick Thunder. I'm sure he's watching actually right now. We're going to get him over to that booth and do some fun stuff with that.
I'll drag my kid there and say hi because he watches his videos all the time. So I know he'll be geeking out if he gets a chance to see him.
We're going to make it happen for you.
All right. Love it, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you and safe travels. And we'll see you soon.
Sounds good, Chris. Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
Buddy. Thanks. Oh my gosh, guys, it is so exciting, like just palpable here. We're so excited. We can't do this without FrightProps, and we can't do this without our premier show sponsor of TransWorld Live, Ticket Spice. So stay tuned just for a quick message from them. Thank you to them. Thank you to all of you for watching, guys. We have our final guest before MHC. We are super excited to have him on, and we wanted to make sure he was our last face before we all got together here on Friday the 6th. TransWorld Live, help me in welcoming. He is the man behind all of our logos, behind the fonts, behind the websites, behind everything that we use to do to market. Help me in welcoming from Sinister Visions, Mr. Chad Savage. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Gearing up. We just put the finishing touches on all the signs and directories and everything, and like a couple of days ago, and now I get a day or two to get my booth ready.
Yes, we just joking, obviously, with Scott, like the paint is always just dry.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It just dried when you go through that house. Thank you. I'm obviously on behalf of Jen, Rich, and everybody from TransWorld. I know you talk to them countless times a day, but thank you, because for those that don't know, you work tirelessly to make all of our marketing materials, our logos, our graphics, our websites, our signs, our everything under the sun. So thank you for everything that you do, because that allows us to be able to communicate.
My pleasure.
And speaking of Brick Thunder, fun facts for everybody. So, Chad and I were hanging out, and we're at the gate at TransWorld this year, Thursday, and we were doing the opening, and Brick Thunder came over just to tie this all together, and Brick said, "Hey, I got a tattoo of the guy from TransWorld, like your guy, like your zombie guy.
The mascot guy, yeah."
And I'm like, wait. Hold on a second. So the doors opened and we ran right to Chad. Chad had to see it. Do you often get your work tattooed on humans?
It happens probably once every couple of months. Somebody will message me, and that's the ones that ask. I have no idea how many people just go do it. And I'm fine with it. The only thing I ever ask is, can I see the tattoo when it's done? But yeah, there's, and not just people getting the tattoos, but there are definite favorites. Like there's a few pieces that are probably on 5 to 10 people.
Oh, it's wild. Like, I know we were just talking to Scott with FrightProps about that, and you get that kind of like proud parent because you've seen that, and I've gotten to see your work everywhere as well.
I just had that while you had the FrightProps catalog on the screen. The text at the bottom of it is one of my fonts. So that's my proud parent moment, is seeing, especially in St. Louis, the banners, T-shirts everywhere, seeing my little babies out there doing their thing. I get a kick out of that.
I love this. I love this. And even Shannon Hobbs in the chat just talked about when they were buying Dark Hour, the first stop was to come to you.
Yeah. It's always, I mean, I love the work I do. I love the people that I work with. But when the client is also a good friend, that's just mwah.
It's a beautiful partnership. That's the best part about that.
And by the way, I can't see the chat. So if somebody's directing something at me, Chris, tell me, I guess.
I got
hi,
you.
Shannon.
We got lots of love here. Obviously, Katie calling you Uncle Chad, of course. We love that. Marquis Jones screaming in excitement for you. Shannon Hobbs is fangirling out.
Yeah.
Oh, guys. So can we real quick, just for those that don't know, Sinister Visions does a lot of stuff. And I mean, if you're okay with me quickly running, like, you've got logos, you got branding, website design, you've got development, marketing, you've got signature characters, graphic design, t-shirts, dark art, illustrations, patches, fonts. What do you not do?
Video.
Fair.
That's
Okay.
it. I don't do photography really, and I don't do video.
Okay. No, this is good.
And I don't do AI.
Love this. Love that, which is a hot topic right now, obviously.
Yeah, that's my little jab.
Robert is showing a lot of your work right now, some samples of your work. You might not be able to see it, but
No,
these
I
are
can
some.
see it.
Okay, good. These are some of your best ones. I mean, just beautiful. I know you free sketch actually a lot of this, like on a pad. For those that may not know, can you just do a quick overview of how you come up with your stuff?
Oh, I was analog pen and ink and paint and pencil guy until 2017, 2018. I did everything on paper or board, and then scanned it and then took it into Photoshop and made it usable. And then I heard about Procreate, which is a natural media drawing app for the iPad. So that Christmas that year, I got myself a used iPad and an Apple Pencil just to check it out. And
Sure.
I've never taken to anything like I took to that app. And I had tried a range of digital drawing apps and boards and tablets and whatnot. And my problem was always they require you to draw on the board, but what you're drawing is on the screen. And I couldn't get with that disconnect. So Procreate, besides just being incredibly, it perfectly simulates drawing on paper, but you can get brush sets that mimic watercolor, that mimic just about any media you can think of.
Oh, wow.
And the more you monkey with it, the better you get at it. You start to learn how it works. And yeah, it's amazing. I actually do miss putting pencil to paper, and I'm going to have to do that soon because the one thing you don't have when you finish a piece in Procreate is an original.
Fair.
But 90% of the drawing work I do is in service of clients. So not having to scan it and do all the stuff, the prep and whatnot that I used to do, I draw it and then I output it as a Photoshop file to my computer, and it's ready, which is at time-wise saves me so much.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I mean, and Robert's showing your huge collection, which I'm sure is not even fully
I
complete.
actually need to hoe that out. I keep adding to it every 6 months, about every 6 months, but I never get to the part where I like take out the older stuff. So the further down you scroll, the older stuff gets, and there's probably, exactly.
Yeah.
There's probably stuff in there. And also it's a graveyard of haunts and vendors that are no longer with us. So that gets weird. The further down you go, you'll see all kinds of logos for attractions that are no longer.
One of the coolest announcements that we've had throughout all of our TransWorld lives is actually you come up with all the t-shirt designs. And when you had released the brand new t-shirt design for this year's Midwest Haunters Convention.
Yeah, the old spook show style stuff has really kind of gotten popular again, and I love making those. It's just fun.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So I've been building a resource library of old, like vintage little bits of artwork like you see there. I've been drawing my own to use for the same purpose. There's a couple of font makers out there that are really like this guy, Remedy 667.
Okay.
Did, I believe, all the fonts on this one, and his stuff is fantastic. I think we have a mutual admiration society going. But it's so much fun.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff. And it's wild too, because someone like yourself, who is ridiculously creative, I think for someone like myself, where I'm like, how in the heck does he have this endless well of motivation and inspiration? And like, you just think, nah, I've seen it all. And then Chad came out with this design, and it's like,
I'm just doing variations on a theme with this. But yeah, I mean, if I didn't love this stuff, it'd be a very different end. But the way I phrase it to a client or prospective client who will hopefully become a client is, I don't sit down and think, oh, I have to draw another scary scarecrow. I sit down and think, I get to draw another scary scarecrow.
I love it. And our good friend Robert, who just talked about one that you did for Cedar Point, even though he said it was one of his least favorites, he still had to get it because it's a Chad Savage original.
Oh, I'm actually wearing one I did for Toxic Effects
We
a
love
few
them.
years ago when they came out with their little dried pumpkin guys.
Love this.
Yeah.
Love this. Ah, this is beautiful. Look at it. Oh, and here for Chicago haunt builders, the monster makers and coffin shakers. I am
going to turn that into its own design, I think, because after I did it, the more I thought about it, the more I liked it.
It's so cool.
It just popped into I was literally falling asleep, laying in bed because I had like a day to get this one done. TransWorld. And that popped into my head. And luckily I remembered it when I woke up. So yeah, and fun fact about this shirt in particular, the font at the top is called Haunted Hill. It's one I made based on a trailer for the title treatment in a trailer for The House on Haunted Hill, the classic Vincent Price movie. Yeah. And then the Monster Makers and Coffin Shakers, same thing, but for a trailer for The Haunting, the original The Haunting.
That's wild.
And you can get both of those for free at sinisterfonts.com, along with like 40 other fonts, give or take. I've lost count.
That's wild. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is awesome. That is awesome. Shannon is gushing right now and just talking about how your work is all over Dark Hour. It's all over there. And she is all about classic Halloween and Chad's style of art.
Shannon has the things she has said to me about my work is some of my favorite things that anybody has ever said to me about my work.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful because you make digital, obviously, and all of the websites and everything that you see that's on your screen is beautiful, but you also make stuff that gets to be hung on the walls. I have some here in my house. You're an expert painter and some really, really great dark art and not so dark art too, but amazingly inspired pieces that you'll have for sale at MHC.
For sure.
That's awesome. Do people ever come to you? Obviously, everything that you do is custom, but for your wall art, for your tangible wall art, do people ever say, hey, can you do this? Type of thing?
People suggest stuff. What's happening more recently is, it really happened a lot at St. Louis. People seeing the prints that I have for sale and saying, hey, could I get a t-shirt for my haunt with that image? And yeah, no problem. I mean, the image you're looking at is a painting I did for myself, and I have no problem plagiarizing myself. So there's a couple of designs that I've done that were just really hit with the public. And there's one in particular, it's a little sheet ghost with a pumpkin, and there are 3 looming figures behind him. I must have done 4 different variations of that shirt for various clients because people just really dug that image.
I love that.
I never know. That's the thing is I never know what's going to hit, what people are going to like. You know, it's just luck of the draw.
It's the beauty of that subjective art, but you have so much of it. You have such a palette, to look at in a portfolio. People can design and mix and match and work with you to find a solution to whatever they need.
Yep. And it helps that I've been doing this for, Jesus Christ, close to 30 years, if you can believe that. So, and again, a conversation with a prospective client, one of the things that occurred to me to point out to them is if they start going down the road of a cliche, whether it's the name or a design element or whatever, I've been doing this long enough, I'm going to recognize it and I will definitely call it out. Now it's, ultimately it's the client's thing. If they want to go with it, great.
Sure.
But I know what to avoid as well as, what to do, so to speak.
You're in great hands with Chad Savage. Exactly. I love that. Okay. Now we got a rumor. We got to dispel it here. Obviously you're going to have a full flood of stuff at your booth at MHC. We love that you're there, but the rumor is that there might be a discount in play here for anybody interested in buying.
I have a couple of things that'll be going on. I have a 10% off services discount. Hey, look at that. During the show, if you put in your 50% deposit on a project for logo design, website, t-shirt, what have you, get that deposit in before the close of the show and you get 10% off, which may not sound like much, but when you get into hundreds of dollars, it makes a difference.
It adds up. Absolutely. That's fantastic, sir. Oh my gosh. And obviously Robert's got that on the screen right now for everybody. Sean asks from the chat, will there be framed art for sale?
Not framed, but prints, tons and tons of prints. And they all fit. The sizes I do are 8 by 10, 11 by 14, and 13 by 19. And any craft store like Michael's, I'd say Joanne Fabrics, but they're gone. Those are all common sizes now.
Love this. This is awesome.
Plus, you don't get the upcharge of the frame. You're just paying for the print. All the prints are signed and numbered too, for those that care.
That is awesome. It makes it a special piece that you get to take home, a Chad Savage original.
Well, they're not originals,
but I mean, yeah. Okay, something that's been high demand. We even talked about it in Zombie Army's new movie, The Fright Stuff. You love to see it at TransWorld, at East Coast, and now at Midwest Haunters. Every haunter comes with their jacket, and they love patches. Are you going to be having some patches back so that people can buy and accent their favorite outfits?
Yes, and not only the embroidered patches, but I had done 3 back patches years ago that sold really well, and then my printer was not able to get the canvas anymore. So I haven't had those for probably 5 years until this year. I was talking to the printer, my good buddy Steve, and I forget how it came up, but he's like, oh, actually we can get that canvas now. So all 3 designs are back. I keep Halloween in my heart, Haunter, and Cult of the Great Pumpkin. So I will have a stack of those available at the show.
Favorites returning. This is wonderful. Breaking news, guys.
I apologize for my clock feeling the need to tell you that it's 8 p.m. Right.
It's totally okay. It's totally okay.
I hope it's not too loud.
We do have a question about payment while we're getting through the clock. We know cash is king, but do you take credit cards as well?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Very, very cool. There we go. The designs are there. Cash and carry. You can find someone to sew. I'm sure that's not going to be hard at MHC, and maybe you can get that patch on within a few minutes. That's wonderful.
Fabric glue.
Glue always works.
Fabric glue is great for patches.
There we go. See? There we go. You got solutions.
Bring a bottle.
Love this. Be prepared. All right. We're really excited when we put together all of the stage entertainment. The capstone of the entire weekend is, of course, the Sinister Visions costume contest. And this is the 9th annual. I can't believe that. That's crazy.
Right?
It's back. It's bigger than ever, and we're super excited. And for those that may have missed it, it is moved up in time. So it's going to be on Sunday at 10:45 a.m., not p.m., a.m. So we want you to make sure that you're aware of that. Why does Sinister Visions do this? Why do you and See You Scared? Why do you guys put so much time to make this awesome event happen?
So back in the day, early 2000s, there was a wonderful convention in Baltimore called Horrified Weekend.
Yeah.
That grew out of the horrified.com message boards.
Okay.
And I ran their art show, helped out. I was involved. I basically did for Horrified what I do for TransWorld. And they would do a massive costume contest. It was usually hosted by D. Wallace Stone.
Okay.
And it was just really fun. So flash forward a little bit to Flashback Weekend in the mid 2000s. Hired me on to do again most of the stuff that I do for TransWorld. And they were introducing a costume contest that year, and I was on site. And at that point, I had lost the ability to just go to a convention. I got to help, because otherwise I was going to get bored out of my mind. So I was helping out, and I noticed that the costume contest was looming. Hosted by Sven Gulli, which cool is that?
Rich. Love him.
And we were getting real close to it, and just happened to catch Mike, the guy that runs the thing, said, so how is this going to work? And deer in headlights. It was immediately clear that, bless his heart, he had put this on the schedule and then just completely not thought about the mechanics of it. So I just decided, well, I'm gonna help. So I gave him a real quick rundown of what I had in mind. It was basically a version of what they did at Horrifying, where you bring each person up, Sviguli talks to him for a second, then you do an audience applause thing, and that way you don't have to worry about judges,
right,
or anything else, and it's just fun. You keep it light and quick. So that's what we did. And then I think this year we're up to like 18th or 19th annual.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't remember how we came to do it at MHC. I think Jen was just looking for something to do on the show floor.
Yeah.
And the costume contest at the ball is one thing, but this is for one thing, kids can't do it.
Right.
I think that may have been the motivating thing, was something that the kids could participate in. And the first few, it was mostly younger, teens and under. But the last couple of years, it's been getting a lot of traction, and we've seen some spectacular outfits. And then last year, with the addition of Mr. Mackey there, Mr. Dan Mackey from Six Flags, who is, I just love him to pieces. You guys on stage hosting it. And that's the thing. I never wanted to be on the stage running it. I just wanted to facilitate. So you guys last year just murdered it. And now that and we're bringing back Shannon, Katie, and Tater to do the judging. I love those three as judges. It's just a lot of fun.
And it's such an honor on behalf of Dan and myself. Like, thank you in trusting us with that. We do have a lot of fun. No, we cannot be Svengoolie, although we all want to be. But it's an honor to be able to carry that flag for you. And you're not kidding. These are not, no disrespect to store-bought costumes. These people work a lot of time on these costumes. These are labors of love.
Yep. Oh, and shout out to Chad Swim at See You Scared, who makes these amazing metal. It used to be I would just take a bunch of my products and put them in a bag, and that was your prize. But now I design it. He makes it. It's these metal plaques that announce that you were the winner of this contest in this year in this category. And he does it as a form. He doesn't charge me anything for him. It's just he's just helping out, which is awesome. And he's making the same kind of thing for the Saturday night contest as well. That one you can actually get a cash prize, but you'll also get the metal sign. And this year, this is the kind of person he is. For the best couple or group costume, he made several of them in case, for that category, because it's by design, at least two people win it. He wanted everybody to have their own award. So I thought that was really sweet of him.
That's a huge credit to See You Scared, because they have been such a partner for a lot of these years.
Yeah.
And making that presentation, making those trophies just so awesome. And that proud moment when we get to, and I see you out there always photoing, and taking photos and making sure that everybody
documenting.
Always. But you have these amazing crowds that are all excited to celebrate these people of all of different ages. And
it's funny too. See You Scared, I do a lot of design work for them. So every convention, somebody will come over. Have you seen that booth over there? They are ripping you off. It's like, no. They pay me very well.
Don't worry, we're good.
It tells me I have a very recognizable style. But it's all on the level.
I love that. Folks, you get to enter for free and win some awesome prizes if you are the judge's selection. We're going to have 3 different categories, 11 and under. That's our kids category, and the only opportunity for kids to be able to be a part of a costume contest. The teen category, 12 to 17, again, they're not available to be a part of that Saturday night contest. This is right on the show floor. And then, of course, everyone 18 and older coming to bring it. We've seen a lot of hot actors and actresses, bringing their own personal creations with just incredible wingspans or headpieces or, stuff that they've spent 6 to 8 months every night working on just for that moment.
It's a funny thing. Well, maybe not funny to them, but I've noticed trying to think of what I'm trying to say. So I'll do this one, and then in August I'll do the one at, I think it's called Friday's Fun. And it's a flashback weekend, and the
Yeah.
difference in the costumes is one of my favorite things, because at MHC it's almost entirely original creations, people's haunt characters and whatnot. You'll see a few characters you recognize, but mostly it's original creations. Whereas Flashback is 99% movie characters and properties and whatnot. And I've seen folks try to take a costume that they did at MHC that was very well received and then try to do it at Flashback. And it doesn't work because it's a very different crowd.
Right.
So, you know, they're up there as their original character and it's a beautiful thing, but the crowd doesn't recognize it. So they don't clap for it. And I've seen a couple of people get real irate about that. It's like, you got to understand your audience.
Different
Flashback
audience.
is a horror memorabilia convention. So you got to give them, you know, and I say that even as I'm thinking of the 9 Freddys and 6 Jasons and 7 Michael Myerses that we get every year that never win, bless their hearts, because there's always, you know, we'll have like a couple of years ago, we had a lady did the full Midsummer flower headdress and the whole sky. It was amazing. We had another one where a dude came up as a giant mogwai from Gremlins, and then he ripped everything off. He was a gremlin underneath, but like the head was, I can't even see my hands. It was so big. So yeah, it's fun to do both of them. And just to get to watch Svengoolie do his thing.
Yes. Oh,
one of my proudest moments ever. I wish I could remember the specifics, but he said something, and then I said something almost to myself off the side of the stage, but he heard it and he looked over and I thought, oh no. And then he just kind of went over front, like just leaned forward and started laughing. I was like, thank God. Not only am I not in trouble, I made him laugh. But yeah, I was very proud of myself.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Well, big key moment for anybody that wants to, or key information for anybody that wants to enter. There's no pre-registration. You show up. Yep. You obviously have to have admission into the show floor, but then just come to the stage at 10:15. So I'm sorry, 10:30. Yep. So 15 minutes before showtime. We'll get you all registered and get you lined up, and we'll get you on stage for people clapping.
And we do them. The order is kids, then teens, then adults. So if you've got a kid that you want to put in, make sure you're up there quick.
That's a good point, actually, Chad. Like, we don't want the kids to be waiting for this whole line. Like, you would be surprised, for those that haven't viewed this, there's a lot of adults that take this very seriously.
Oh yeah. So, and bless their hearts, they're amazing.
Yeah.
The last few years, some of the costumes have just been
over the top. Like the Five Nights at Freddy's one, or I mean, unbelievable. And I think it's a fun outlet too for actors that maybe have to play a more, a different role when they're in their production, or they're in their respective haunt. But then they get to kind of do something a little bit different, maybe more fun, whimsical, or just a different creation.
It's also fun when some folks get on the stage, they're just kind of like, oh, this is my costume. Yes. Other ones get on the stage full character.
And they sell it. Yes.
And clearly with the goal to make you two uncomfortable, which I get a big kick out of watching.
Oh, I got to tell you, we had this moment. I don't know if you saw it. We did a similar costume contest at East Coast, and this guy was doing the gunner, and he was swinging around the chainsaw like Leatherface, and boy, did he get close. And I'm like, I'm not moving, but you're so right. It is fun for them to mess with us and have a lot of fun with it. And we love it too. So. Oh, gosh. All right. But this is not the end of it. Obviously, the stage literally oversees the entire pit, which is called Haunted House Chicago Row. Super excited to have 12 of the top attractions throughout the entire Chicagoland area being a part of Haunted House Chicago Row and the pit. Chad, I know, with John LaFlamboy, we envisioned this years ago when the show first moved to Schaumburg, and it's crazy to see how it's developed.
Yeah, this was primarily, I mean, it's the least way I remember, this was primarily John's baby.
Yeah.
He conceived it. He had the ideas for how it should work, why we should do it, etc. And I have always been a fan of collaborative promotion for attractions. Nobody comes out of a really great haunted house in October and thinks, well, that's the one I'm going to.
Yes.
They want to go to another one. So getting to be with all these people, the meetings that we have leading up to it, and the camaraderie, and we had a meeting around a month ago, and they threw down so many great ideas. We're not getting to implement all of them this year, but like the dressing room, having a dressing room on the floor so you don't have to go back to your hotel.
Yes.
That was generated in that meeting. That was one of the haunters from the logos that you see here.
Yes.
And there were a lot of great ideas that came out of that we're going to see in 2026, I'm sure, at not just Midwest haunters, but most likely East Coast as well.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because even the panels this year, we're going to be having panels where haunt owners and top management are going to be on stage answering questions, telling you about what's coming down the pipe, and you get to have
a good idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's stuff that comes out, and we really want to give credit to all of these haunted attractions that are not only just sponsors, but they're our partners. We get back from them, and they help create and build the show to be better and better for all of our folks that are coming every year.
Do you think that our gentle viewers know that you and I are the co-owners of HauntedHouseChicago.com?
It may have been hinted at one point or time, but I am
and
honored.
One of us is the founder, and it's not me.
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor. And
what was it, 99?
It was 99.
26 years ago, a young man named Chris Zarobsky thought, you know what? I really like haunted houses in Chicago. And here we are.
It's an honor. It's an honor. And I love what we're able to do with our partnership to be able to support all of these amazing haunted attractions. And that's really what it was founded upon. How can we help? Because to your point, that's our main crux. Like, when you go out of one haunted house, you're not saying we're done for the season.
Yeah.
You're going to go find another one.
Yeah.
And we want you to be able to find all of the most amazing haunted attractions in the Chicago market, so that you can have a full season, not just October, but all of the off-season events, everything that you want to do. Come hang out, enjoy the scene, celebrate the actors and the amazing creativity, because every show has something different to offer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, wildly different. The personality of each attraction. It's one of my favorite things.
And thanks, Chad, for mentioning that, because Mike Napolitano says, hey, I was born November of 98. Sorry, Chris. Well, we love you guys. So, Chad, this is awesome. And I know you're going to be booth 2553 in Haunted House Chicago Row, in the pit, right in all of the heart of the action. Of course, sinistervisions.com and all of your accessory websites. But more importantly, and this is why we love that you're our last guest, why are you excited for MHC? Why is MHC so important for everybody watching to be there and be a part of the party?
I'm not really. I mean, no, I'm kidding. It is, smarter people than me have pointed this out. It is, for most of the industry, it's our last chance to see each other before the season. It's kind of the last hurrah. Of the networking and just getting to see your friends. That's very much my favorite part of it, is the people that I get to see while I'm there. Because I won't see most of them again until the following March, unless they're in Chicago. But yeah, the social aspect of it, the camaraderie, the being surrounded by people that are into all the same things that you're into. There's something to be said for that.
It's magic.
It's tribal.
It is.
We're hanging out with our tribe, and that's cool. And honestly, especially this year, I'm not going to get into anything specific, but this year has been a little silly.
Yeah,
silly. So, getting to see all of those friendly faces and, hugs and hanging out and all the, it's bomb for the soul, just kind of recharges your batteries a little bit.
It does. It's that last hurrah, get you going.
Yeah.
For everything. Sir Alan Hops, we love to quote him all the time. He says, "Transworld's about the stuff. East Coast and Midwest are about the people."
Yep.
And couldn't be more. Okay, so on a personal note, like, what are the fun things that you like to look for? I'm going to take two real quick. I'm sorry, because if these are your answers, I'm so sorry. But like, I want to give you an example, like the things that I can't wait to see. And number one is different actors from shows that don't usually correspond to each other. So you see a massacre haunted house guy hanging out with a midnight terror haunted guy, you know, in costume. They're taking pictures. It's wild. It's like, wait a second, you two universes are closing together.
It's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
You got Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny interacting. They would never otherwise get to interact.
Yes.
So yes, I agree. That is very cool, getting to see icon characters from different attractions play off each other. And there's some amazing stuff.
Yes.
And even on stage when they're doing like
Oh.
the match game and whatnot.
Yes.
There have been some screamingly funny moments. Usually involving Boona, it seems like.
Oh, 100%. I heard a rumor that she might be here this year. Maybe.
Hope so.
I love that. I love that. I love it. All right. My second big thing that I'm looking forward to, of course, I like to see everybody's creativity and the booths that they come up with. I've gotten a chance to see some Snapchats of people's booths and stuff like that. But I think the one, and we've talked about it here on the show, is like, what is Steve Christoff going to do this year? That's ultimately what we're all about, right? I mean,
where to begin with Mr. Chris? I'm such a fan. Well, first of all, go see Haunt Season. It's really great.
yes.
I rented it with my 22-year-old who's not in the industry, and he loved it just as a movie. Just really enjoyed it. I loved it for the love letter that it clearly is to this industry we call Haunt.
Yes.
I just lost the thread of the question.
No, that's okay. We were just talking about like what
Christoph, Mr.
Yeah.
Christoph.
Yeah.
The booth. Should I give a quick rundown of what the booth was last year?
You totally should. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it was very tall. There was a door, and there was it was fully wrapped, and it promised the ultimate haunted house experience. This was going to be, and it was inside this little, just where their booth is. And there was a QR code and a website you could visit to get tickets. And as he explained it to me subsequently, it wasn't about the haunted house experience. It was about waiting on the haunted house experience. So if you stood in line, you were going to stand in line for a real long time because they never opened the door. If you went on the website to buy tickets, you had to answer a series of questions. And the further down the questions you got, the weirder they got. And eventually you find that there were something like 200 questions.
Yes.
And if you answered all of them and hit submit, you got a 404 error. Diabolical. And Mr. Christoph built a balcony on top of this thing so he can sit up there and watch the people in line.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It's just evil genius. Evil genius. The first year he just had a table full of bricks with Realm of Terror painted on them, which I still have out in my garden.
Same. And
he takes the opportunity to turn it into performance art, and what's not to love? Unless you stood in that line for more than 5 minutes. Sorry.
Oh, we love that. We love that. Oh my gosh, it's great.
So great.
Oz Creates, yes. Do we have any news on Ghost Ride? Ghost Ride's bringing like nearly 2,000 pounds of one-offs and production errors and foam creation. So make sure that you bring an empty trunk and any sort of payment and get there early. There's no new news then from last week, but it is the same. Yeah. And Brandon from Harvest, Sinister Harvest says, hi, Mandy Gibson, we're going to miss you. We can't do this without you. So, and yes, Chad, I don't know what your thoughts are on this. There's talk of Malort shots, welcome to Chicago.
I've lived in Chicago since 1998. I have had better people than you people try to get me to drink Malort. After the first time I saw somebody else do it and saw the ensuing contortions of the face. No interest.
No.
Why would I?
You should definitely Google Malort face.
No, yeah, it's runs the game. Oh, what are you, chicken? That hasn't worked on me since the 5th grade, but go off. If I'm going to drink something, it's going to at least taste good.
So what Chad's saying, everybody, is let's find a creative way to coerce him.
Oh, you can, you do your worst.
I love it. I love it. And Shane, you're 100% right. Do not miss out on the Ghost Ride parts. 100%. We did have Michael on a few weeks ago, so check that show out. He showed pictures or gave those to Robert to show. He is going to have a huge unloading here that's going to be at discount prices. You can go home with some really good stuff at a great bargain. So it's a good option.
Their little pumpkin pin holders and whatnot.
Oh my gosh.
I have coveted those. I still don't have one. When we get ones, I'm going to probably just steal one from Jen.
I love it. I'm not saying a word. All right. Now our final segment here for people that are out of town. What kind of food should they have? They're coming to Chicago. All roads lead here. What should they check out while they're in town?
I don't live in Chicago anymore. So I might not have any specific suggestions, but I can tell you some of the best eating in the nation, if not the world, is in Chicago proper, to the extent that I have an author friend who did a series of books set in the forward-thinking culinary world of New Orleans, and she would regularly come to Chicago for what at the time it was molecular gastronomy.
Okay.
Like super cutting edge, like magic and science with food. But yeah, that's where I would say Google that shit. Anything you want, Chicago's going to have it. And they're going to have 5 kinds of it, and they're all going to be tremendously delicious.
Amen. DJ's in the chat saying Portillo's, always a solid choice there. I highly recommend right outside of the convention center, so you don't have to travel too far. Gene and Jude's, a Chicago classic, serving up a Depression-style hot dog. Amazing choice. Bring some cash because that's what they accept. And the oldest tiki bar in all of Chicago, Halakahiki.
Yeah.
So that's right down the street.
I haven't been to Halakahiki in a minute, but I love that place. Yeah. So cool.
And a new favorite, actually, the other way, Maria's Mexican. Go check them out on Foster. It's right down the street as well, so you can't go wrong on there. So
I actually think I have been to that one, if it's the one I'm thinking of, and it's really good.
Yes, some good stuff there. So we can't wait to see, and obviously the entire area right around the convention center there will have a number of different restaurants that you can go hang out to in that little section here. So you will be welcoming home here in less than 48 hours. We can't wait to see you. Well, Chad, people are going to come check you out. Booth 2553, sinistervisions.com. For all of you that are watching, we hope you have a very, very safe travels. Chad, before we leave them, anything left that you want to say?
Looking forward to seeing everybody.
Heck yes. Guys, we'll be live. Robert and I will be doing segments all weekend, starting on Friday at about 3 o'clock, right before haunt season debuts to kick off MHC 2025. We hope you have safe travels. And if we don't see you in person this weekend for some reason, you can hear about all of the diabolical stories next week on Thursday, June 10th, for our Aftermath show. A huge thanks to all of you. Huge thanks to Robert. And we'll see you guys in 48 hours.